And greetings, welcome to the Dividing Line on a Thursday afternoon. It was over a week ago that I had the interesting experience of being on the Dr. Drew show on CNN's HLN. I sort of on, if you can call being on for like 2 minutes being on. Certainly wasn't invited on to have a serious discussion about anything. That's painfully obvious. Evidently, I was the the token religious person to be laughed at, I guess. I was told by the producer that they wanted a spiritual insight into the issue, but it became very clear very, very quickly that that wasn't the case whatsoever. After the program, and we played a week ago today, we played Jeff Durbin's mix of what happened on the program. But after the program, there was about 3-minute after-show video that was done. And, of course, I wasn't told about that, wasn't invited on that. And, of course, during the program, a shot was taken at me, insulting, offensive shot was taken at me. I wasn't even given the opportunity of responding to it. So, evidently, these folks are so incredibly insecure in their position that what they want to do is they want to bring on a Christian, don't let him speak, and then once he's gone, take further shots when he can't defend himself later on. Now, I would feel hypocritical in responding now if I had not extended, not only via Facebook, but through written correspondence to the producer of the program, and through speaking to the producer of the program on the phone, an open invitation to everyone on that panel to join us on the Dividing Line. And we would demonstrate what real conversation is, what real debate is, how to show respect to other people by actually letting them develop a point, interacting with what they're really saying. What we're about to watch in the after-show video is really educational in that it illustrates that people who will speak very vociferously and very frequently about being inclusive and being open, and we can't discriminate, and no one should be bigots, can be the least inclusive, close-minded, discriminatory, bigoted people on the planet. And that is the essence of the culture that we find ourselves in today, the level of hypocrisy. Now, I'm using old, maybe I need to come up with a new phraseology. I'm using old America terms, not new America terms. I'm using old speak. There we go. Let's not come up with new something. Let's go with the established language of George Orwell, who rightly in 1984 saw what was coming and predicted it, even down to attacks upon the family. In fact, I was looking at 1984 just recently, last week, over the weekend actually, and I had forgotten the section where they were talking about specifically breaking the bond between parents and children, and so that the state can have total control over the citizen from birth to death. And that was right there in 1949 when he wrote it. And downright prophetic. That's exactly what's going on today. So anyway, what we're hearing in this after show type stuff is just amazing to me. And in fact, one of the participants, Erica Holden, I believe is her name, Erica America, on Twitter, is a young woman with a master's degree in psychotherapy. She's doesn't have a doctorate. She has a master's degree, and she just basically is a gadfly there in New York who goes from program to program and does her thing. She was the one that tried to project onto me fear. But it's funny to me, if we're the ones that would be open to having them on and having meaningful debate and giving enough time, and they're the ones shouting me down and then having to do further damage shots after I can't even respond, who's the fearful one? And when what I said is completely misrepresented, and massive projection takes place, who's really the fearful individual here? I think it's pretty obvious what the case on that is. So I wanted to respond to this. It was posted on Facebook, but I wanted to let a little time pass to make it primarily educational. Most people saw it. In fact, I didn't spend a lot of time looking at the comments, but most of the comments I saw were from Christians who were going, "You people are a bunch of hypocrites. You bring somebody on, you don't let them say more than 2 sentences in a row. You shout them down and then pat yourselves on the back for your bias and your bigotry. What's that all about?" So, people saw it. People saw it for what it was and recognized it for what it was. I did tweet out just a few moments ago to all of those individuals. Well, I didn't tweet out to the guy. The guy in the panel was just there as comic relief anyways. I mean, he threw a few things out, but I suppose Mike Schechter or something like that. I forget who it was, but I didn't include him. But I did include the two young ladies and Dr. Drew in the list. So let's take a listen to what they had to say, and then sort of take it apart bit by bit. Here's the after show video from Dr. Drew on HLN from last week.